All right, there he is, folks. The Brilliantly Dumb Show presented to you by Bro Bible, the voice of an angel. You're looking at Bob Menery. Bob, thank you for being on the Brilliantly Dumb Show here.
I don't have the voice of an angel today. It was a wild night.
Well, wild week before.
Yeah, very wild week.
Coming off a wild bender of a week in Miami, Florida. Just announced going with the 60-day detox. At what point in Miami did you say, I got to go on a detox?
It wasn't when I was in Miami. We went on a 4-day straight bender, I think, like an hour's sleep every night. It was fucking nuts. Everybody was out till 6 a.m. There was like a strip club that's open fucking 24/7. So you're going to go every fucking time. The problem was, I was like, all right, after Miami, I'm going to be on disciplined sober mode. Right. Problem was, I came back to L.A., got fucked up again, and I'm like, all right, I got to slow this down because I got a little too wild. And then also I had major bets going on for the 60-day thing because nobody believes that I can actually not drink for 60 days, which is going to be so fucking hard.
It is, especially for the fact that I brought a tall boy a Bud Light here. I'm having one now, so it's going to be there. I would absolutely, Bob, I would cash the under.
You would be a great AA sponsor. Right. You would be a great AA sponsor. You're like fucking, I'm like, yeah, trying to go still over 60 days. You're like, well, I brought a chest of Bud Light for you. Here you go. No, I'm going to pass I got to win this bet. I got too much in the fucking line.
Well, the reason that I brought the Bud Light is I got the under.
You have the under? You don't think I'm going to make it 60 days? Robbie, I don't fucking fail at this shit.
I think at some point it'll come close. It comes down to one good night out.
I know.
Where everybody's having a good time. You're having a good time, but not a great time. And that could be the downfall.
It happened. I did 30 days once. I had a 30-day bet, no lie. And I made it 29 days and 16 hours. I didn't make it 30 days because I cracked because I thought my plane was crashing. And I was like fucking freaking out. They were like, it's going to be a bad flight. I was kind of afraid of flying at the time.
Yeah.
And now I obviously fly a little more, so I'm more comfortable with it. But the turbulence was so bad, and finally I pressed the button. I'm like, if I'm going to die, I'm going out drinking.
Well, look, I'm not going to put the peer pressure on you, but there was a tall boy right under my legs here. Mm-hmm. I slammed the under. Take me into Miami. You were at a powerhouse of a table with Timmy Bounceback. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that table.
It wasn't in Miami. It was in Los Angeles after Michael Rubin came on our podcast, who's the fucking man, by the way.
He seems great.
He's the fucking coolest dude in the world. Like in the beginning, like when I started to have a little momentum, Michael's been like a fucking mentor, like a really, really, really good dude. And so he invites, me out to dinner, and it is a very powerful, powerful dinner. It was like Robert Kraft, fucking Meek Mill, one of like the creators of Snapchat, fucking...
what do you say to Meek Mill? How do you start that out?
You just got to try and be cool. I don't know, and try and fit in. I don't know. And then I end up just looking like an idiot. Like I just try to be like, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Like I turn on like that mode, and it just doesn't fucking work with me.
I would ask him something like if you wanted to go half and half on an entree or something and kind of feel him out.
You could do that. That's a route. I mean, look, that's ballsy. It's aggressive.
It's a ballsy play. No doubt about it.
Because then if he's just like, nah, bro, you're like, fuck.
Now take me in. Timmy Bounceback, who's the co-host of the Ripper Magoo Show, which is just awesome. The Ripper Magoo podcast. Take me in to the setting. Rob Kraft, you mentioned it on your last episode. This, to me, is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're at the dinner, and Timmy sends me a text, and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at dinner with Ruben and them. And I go, are you sober? And he goes...
by the way, for those who don't know, Timmy Bounceback, if you've seen the podcast, he's a wild card. He's a friggin' character.
Yes.
And just a wild card. He's a beauty.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And he sends this. I said, are you sober? And he goes, yes. And then I go, okay, come. Because you have to be very careful with him. Because you remember the Ryan Lochte interview?
We will definitely jump into
We'll hit on that, definitely. And so he walks in, and he looks like fucking Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, fucking walking in all fucking banged up. And I'm like, oh, my God. Because when Timmy's in that fucking mindset, right, you can't get him out of it.
When he made his entrance, did he stop at each person and say hello to start off? Did you have to let the table know he was coming?
I didn't let anybody know he was coming. I just had him show up. But he just came in and was like, Philadelphia! Philadelphia! Like screaming. And and the worst problem was at the table when he got there, because it was like musical chairs. Everybody was shifting chairs. The seat next to Meek Mill was Timmy Bounceback. Oh, that's how it arranged. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm sitting there panicking because he's attached to me. And these are powerful fucking guys I need to build relationships with. And Timmy is fucking zapped out of his mind. So long story short is he's like talking to Meek. I mean, I don't know how many times he said the word fucking Philadelphia. Like, I don't even, like so many fucking times. So then I look over at one point, and this is the famous moment it happened. I see him over there with Robert Kraft, and he's got his arm around him like in a fucking headlock, basically, like just drooling on the fucking guy. And I'm just like, oh my God. So finally I'm like, Timmy, we got to get you the fuck out of here. He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm with Robert Kraft.
And now how does Kraft respond to the headlock?
I don't even know. It happened like really quick. I was just like having a fucking piece of sushi or something. Look over. It's like headlock, boom. He was, I don't know. I mean, he was probably, obviously, when Timmy's in that state of mind, I don't think anybody's really too.
There's no stopping him.
There's no stopping him. So, but it was funny.
And I definitely want to jump into that Ryan Lochte interview, which we're going to get into again with Timmy Bounce Back just stealing the show. My question for you, for the people that don't know you, Bob.
Right.
Okay. How did this all get started for you?
So I had one video that went viral back in the day. I was like 3 a.m. sitting on a couch next to my buddy, and ended up, his name was David Justin, ended up doing like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, that little spiel that I always fucking do. And he just recorded it, and his name was David Justin. He ended up giving it to your people here at Bro Bible. Bro Bible were the first people.
Big ups to Bro Bible.
100%.
Put one on the board.
Bro Bible was the ones in the beginning who just shared all my shit and fucking love Brandon, like all those guys down there. And obviously, just they were the guys that got it started for me. So I did another video, and it kind of had the same success. And then my buddy said, "You ever heard of Instagram?" I was like, "No." And then I started making these videos, kind of what sports announcers want to say. What I kind of do is R-rated commentary. I kind of have the voice that sounds like a broadcaster.
Right.
And so I just, like, I remember when I started off, I did Madden glitches. And so, like, you know, when why the fuck does, like, one guy have one arm that's broken backwards? Like, and, like, why is the announcer not saying anything about it? So I just started being, like, instead, you know, he'd be, like, running in the end zone. I'd be like, left side, touchdown. And, like, the guy would have a broken arm. And I'd be like, why is the fucking announcer not fucking bringing up his arm broken backwards?
And then, but when you found out that the video had gone viral, was it one of those classic things where you just came to your phone and your phone was popping off?
Yeah, I had a bunch of, like, missed calls and shit that day at a golf tournament. And then I had like 316 missed calls. I think it was like crazy. Like agents, managers, everybody, like voiceover people, podcast people. That because I think New York Post picked it up, USA Today, all that, like the article.
So then the process starts as maybe I could do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell your parents? How does that process go of, wow, I might be able to do this full time?
Well, I was in my parents' house at the time. They just downsized to a 2-bedroom condo when I came home, like rock bottom from L.A.
Right.
And so they were fucking thrilled when their 28-year-old son comes on knocking on the door and be like, I'm home. I'm going to try this thing where I'm going to scream my bedroom every fucking night for 4 hours hammered. Is that cool? Like they thought they thought I was losing my mind. And I went to, they were making me go apply for a job at a liquor store for like $11 an hour and all that shit. But yeah, I would be like literally something would happen when I hit 10,000 like followers. I was like, I'm onto something. I don't know what it is, but I'm onto something. And then I would like there would be a football play that happened. And I would be like, Mom, Dad, can you keep it down for a minute? And I'd run in the other room like, Nick Folk's dick flies off. Wide right. Fuck it. My parents probably
drops back.
Yeah. And then my parents like, what the fuck is wrong with my son? You know, they thought I was losing my mind. But, you know, we're onto something. We got some good momentum. So I think we can hopefully piece something together.
That's wild. For me, my parents, the whole thing was they didn't understand it. It's a new era. So for them, when I told them, you know, that I'm getting a certain amount of followers, they don't know what it means. It means nothing to them. So it takes actually finding like a paycheck coming in, whatever it may be, to get the ball rolling and them really see it.
And you're going to have a big paycheck coming in soon because I think you're going to kill this fucking shit and you have been. I've listened to your podcast. Do a good job.
That's the goal. I appreciate that, Bobby boy.
Who would be your ideal guest? That's what I'm saying. I had to ask you one question. Who would be your ideal guest?
I would love a sports guy. I like sports and, of course, comedy, which the show is. You get me Charles Barkley in here, I'm set.
Charles Barkley.
I just don't you think
Give me 3 names, and I'm guaranteeing you one of them.
We're going to put that on
You
on
let
paper.
me know. When you let me know, if you want to do it now or later, 3 names.
I'm going to give you 3 names later. You pull off one of them. We're going to have this on paper right here. Give me Chuck.
A deal. I'll try. I'll try and get Chuck.
Now, for those who don't know the voice, you're about to get it. So what we're going to do here, Bob, I want to give you 3 scenarios to comment on.
Okay.
Okay? Let the people hear that voice. The first scenario I'm going to give you, John Daly hooks a drive far right and hits a 60-year-old man in the face on the 16th tee box.
Wow.
Bob Menery, here he goes.
So I remember I made a clip about Daly back in the day, and the PGA didn't like it too much. But usually with golf, I'll kind of start off slow and like that golf voice and be like, Daly on 16. Obviously, beautiful day out here at Torrey Pines. And that is going to be a good one, but it's going left. It is making its way left. Oh, God. And it just fucking railed somebody right in the forehead. There's kids crying. That's what I don't fucking know. I usually am hammered when I do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one more. I want to hear Aaron Rodgers chugging beer, shit face, trying to walk down a flight of stairs, commentate it.
See, it's like exactly what you just said. I would just repeat in the voice. Like Aaron Rodgers chugging beers at the stadium tonight. Should be focused on football, but obviously a little fucked up. We don't usually see this in Aaron as he makes his way down the stairs, almost buckles his legs there, and almost went down. I don't know.
And down goes
Rodgers. I don't fucking know.
Now, let's stay on the football topic. I want to talk Saquon Barkley, New York Giant running back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you lived with the guy, no?
We had we lived for 3 months in the offseason last year.
Wild.
Hence why the Giants plummeted this year. No. Hence why they had such a fucking shitty season.
Yeah, it took them about till week 10 to really get going. What was that like?
It was surreal. It cost me a relationship, actually, because I had this place I was supposed to get with my girl, and we had the place all lined up, and all of a sudden I get a fucking... Sorry, fuck this chair, my bad. I get a call from, I think it was Cuz. It's like, yo, you want to live with Saquon Barkley? I was like, yup.
Sure.
Yup, I'm in. And so I told Katie Carney, who I was dating at the time, that we were going to be living with Saquon, so we did for a little bit. It was crazy. You don't want to play Saquon in Connect 4. He's a big Connect 4 player. You don't want to play him in fucking rock, paper, scissors. He's like Houdini. You don't want to fucking play. He knows you're going to throw every fucking time.
You know what I like about the guy? You would never know. Obviously, you know who Saquon Barkley is, but when you hang out with him, he doesn't hold that type of... He's just a normal guy.
He's the fucking man. He's the best
awesome
guy in the fucking world. He's the most disciplined, amazing human being on planet Earth. Actually, we were in Miami, and these parties you're trying to go to, like Sports Illustrated, Maxim, blah, blah, they're all packed like at like 11, 12, right?
That's your guy.
So I'm like walking in at a point with Saquon. He's got like 9 other guys with him. So he's there at the front of the line making sure all 9 guys get in, and myself and whoever I was with at the time. But there was like these 5 random people that were there, and Saquon was like going out of his way to like get people in. Like he's just a fucking good dude, and he's just the Giants. Obviously, if he was on a different football team, I think he'd have a little bit more obviously success. But
little did he know, one stiff arm would have got all 9 of you in.
No shit.
That's all it would have taken right there.
But they weren't even like letting. It was weird. He couldn't like. It was so crazy there that he was having trouble getting into places. I'm like, it's fucking Saquon Barkley. Like, how the fuck you not letting this guy in?
As far as living with him, do you wake up 10 a.m., want to crack a beer and feel like shit when he's out training? Like, he's got to be training.
Yeah, bro, I would sneak in at like 3 in the morning and like tiptoe up the stairs to my bed and not wake him up. And there was one night, which is actually pretty funny, is we were all asleep. It was like 1 in the morning, and all of a sudden, we had this loudspeaker system in the house.
Oh, shit.
And it was
That's a recipe for disaster.
No shit. It was me, Saquon, Cuz was downstairs, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this music turns on. It's like, shine bright like a diamond, like so fucking loud. Like almost the house almost fucking explodes. So I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck is going on? Like it's so loud. Like I'm telling you, like the house is shaking.
Right.
So I thought we were getting murdered. Like this is a murder scene. Like this guy's turning up the music really loud. Great, we're going to die. They're coming in here to kill Saquon Barkley and I and Cuz. And so I walk outside. Saquon's got a golf club in his fucking boxer shorts ready to go. And I'm just like peeking around the corner like, say, go check this out. Go check this out. And then afterwards, we found out nothing was wrong, and I walked back upstairs to Katie, who I was in bed with, and she was like, what happened? I'm like, I took care of it, don't worry. I was like, I got it. I made sure everything was cool, but I was like the biggest pussy about it.
Saquon's down there fighting the good fight.
I was like holding his back, walking behind him, looking around for fucking the robber, the serial killer that we thought was in the house.
And the training regimen of the guy for those legs that he has to be just out of control.
I was never involved in any of the training regimens.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, Bobby.
I passed on that. No, fuck that. So I just, whenever they felt like turning it on and partying a little bit, that's when I got involved. I wasn't there doing fucking 40-yard dashes or whatever those guys.
We have a bet going on, actually, with Cuz, who's Saquon's manager. You know Joey Coldcuts. I think you've met him at work.
Ran into him at the pool. He's a man.
Right. Big old fella.
Yeah.
What we bet on is out of 10 runs with Saquon. Mind you, Coldcuts is pushing... No disrespect, Coldcuts, 245.
Yeah, he's up there. He's got a fat little gut, too.
Yeah, 68% body fat.
68, that's
Heck
high.
of a guy, heart of a lion. Out of 10 rushes, can Coldcuts tackle him once?
Not a fucking chance.
You don't think
so? Well, it depends. Is it an open field tackle? It's like...
That's what the question
you gotta no, there's no way. It doesn't matter what fucking Coldcuts cannot fucking tackle Saquon. There's no way.
Well, you know where I disagree? I think it would be like a plus 250 And the reason I only do plus 250, if you do a full football field, he's got no chance. But if you just do an alley with how big cold cuts is it doubtful? Yes.
He's not going to get 10 attempts. Saquon's going to fucking truck stick him. You might have to do this over a year because he's going to run up the middle, truck stick him, and then he's going to be cold cuts going to be out.
Right. Well,
and then you're going to have to do it in like 2 weeks.
If we do 10 attempts, somebody could get hurt. By somebody, it would be cold cuts.
Just have cold cuts sign a waiver. That's it.
Right. I would think the right thing to do was 5 attempts. Mm-hmm. And I know cold cuts, he would give it everything he has. And I think Saquon would just obliterate him, but we'd get A, content out of it. B, let people wager on it.
I think we can make that happen in the backyard this week. Let's fucking do it.
Done. Consider it done.
But that's not. I'm not making a decision for those guys. That's up to them. I'm not putting. Don't quote me on that.
Now I want to get in, Bob, to the Ripper Magoo podcast. I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here right now. I think it's awesome. I told you, we've hung out before. I've been waiting for you to do the podcast. You finally went ahead and delivered it right on the charts, right out of the get-go. Guests as far as Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Pena, Doc Rivers, David Spade, the girl who showed her tits at the Astros playoff game, Gary Vaynerchuk, the guy who shot Osama bin Laden, which, by the way, is such a good idea.
He would love to come in here. You should get him in here.
I've been emailing the guy left and right, Bob.
I got you done. I have his number. Call.
So here we go. Charles Barkley's 1. The guy who shot Osama bin Laden 2.
Done. I already got 1. That's 1 guaranteed.
But you know what? That's what like a Joe Rogan does. You bring on guys that, like, not many people know him by the face, but that are just interesting. You don't even have to be funny. It's such a fascinating story. Mm-hmm. It's great.
And you forget it happened so long ago. And it's for all these people that weren't around during 9/11. And, I mean, he just tells a fucking, it's crazy. I mean, like, they were in the helicopter, one fucking helicopter crashes, and they storm the fucking compound. He's climbing up the fucking stairs. He has his guy whisper to Khalik or whatever, who's Bin Laden's son, in Arabic or whatever. I forget what the language was. And the guy pokes his head around, pops him in the head. They go up the stairs. Robert walks in, and he's like, there I was, face to face with Osama Bin Laden. 3 bullets right in his fucking head. He did do that, and that was sick. When he did that, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, when he described it as a sounds weird, but crazy. Just to think of that.
That's one interview where you're just like, just sitting there, you don't say anything.
Totally.
You're just like, go.
And you talk about coming out with a bang.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the only episodes you had where it really wasn't a funny episode. You didn't have to be funny in that sense.
Right. Well, I promised him, I said, one day I'm going to do a podcast, and I want you to be my first guest. We were all fucked up. Robert likes to party, so we were all fucked up with actually Dakota Meyer, who was awarded the Medal of Honor by Obama.
You fit right in with that.
Dude, I was like looking over my shoulder every time, just waiting for ISIS, because he had like a fucking bounty on his head for like $10 million. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to get fucking shot in the head. I don't want, just keep your distance from me.
Right.
But Dakota's a great guy to have on too. Dakota was awarded the Medal of Honor, and they got 8, I think it was like 8 something like that. Guys got stormed by like 250 Taliban, trapped in the city or in a town, and then he just went in and fucking saved his guys. It was nuts.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Bob, who was, out of the guests that you've had, who was the most nervous you've been? Maybe not nervous, but the one you were most anxious about.
I have the same level of anxiety and nerves no matter who it is.
For each one.
I always am a little nervous, and it's always good to be a little nervous. There's nothing wrong with being nervous. It actually is, it kind of like fuels you. But, I mean, if I had to pick, probably John Voight was the hardest, who's Angelina Jolie's father.
Bob, I'll be honest with you. He was a disaster.
Yeah, I look at the thing is this. I didn't know what I like to usually do is this. No, that's fine. I don't give a fuck.
I'll be honest. He was a
you
mess.
have to be honest. That's why I fucking love you. You're fucking honest. So I didn't know him at all. And you gotta understand, he's like 80 years old. Right. And so me talking about fucking Ripper Magoos and Zappers, like I don't know if it really fits in with him too well. But he was a great guy first and foremost. I don't think the episode really matched my demo too much.
It was still a good episode. The only thing where I think where he went south was then he went political.
Yeah, no, that lost me a lot of followers. I got bombed.
Did you lose a lot of?
I lost like 25,000.
That's amazing.
I know.
I did like even a post on Donald Trump walking out in the college football
game.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I wasn't taking a side.
Yeah.
The hate mail I got from it, I wasn't picking a side. It was just hilarious the way this guy was walking out.
Fucking got to stay away from politics. Don't want to divide your audience.
Another one I loved, by the way, which I would have had a lot of questions for. I thought you directed it very well with the interview. Doc Rivers was awesome.
Doc Rivers was cool. And like I said, I had a little relationship with him before we played in the golf course, so it made it a little easier. But Doc's just the man. He's laid back, doesn't give a fuck, and he's just a chill dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, I like Doc a lot. I thought that was an awesome episode. My favorite episode, which I said that we were going to get into, it is one of the funniest things I think I've ever listened to. you do a interview with Ryan Lochte, who just went. Remind me, what did he do again? Didn't he make up a story in the Olympics?
Yeah, what Ryan did was he was down in Brazil, and I think he like vandalized, just like peed outside of a bush or something like that. It was all fucked up, drunk.
Right.
I mean, the kid was like a fucking Olympian gold medalist. Like, you can't. I mean, you can. Obviously, it wasn't the right thing to do at all. But you know, when you have that level of success so fast at a young age, sometimes you got to fucking. It's hard to control the demons inside of you. And obviously, I think he went out, got fucked up, and then I think something happened with like he framed a robbery or something. But I don't know. I don't know the exact details. I just fucking interviewed him. But I'm the youngest kid with Alzheimer's, I think. No lie.
The best part is, so the guy's trying to make a comeback, and he's getting ready. At first, he canceled on you, did he not?
Yes. No. Yes. I asked him I was going back and forth with his agents for so long, and then he was. We had the show all lined up, and then he canceled. Which I don't blame him. He's trying to protect his image. Like when I was talking to his agent, I'm like, "Well, we want to talk about Brazil." He's like, "Yeah, we can't touch Brazil." I'm like, "What the fuck are we going to talk about? Him doing swimming laps around the fucking pool?"
Why is he here then?
No. Yeah. So I'm like, "Yo, look, I'm like he's going to leave that interview looking great," and then it happened.
And by it, again, we're gonna bring back co-host. I met the guy. I love him. Timmy Bounce Back comes in absolutely fucking blasted off his mind. Take me through what's going through your head through that.
Well, it's Sunday football, and since he canceled, we had to rearrange the days, so we had to have him in on Sunday. And if Sunday NFL football is like Timmy, he turns into like fucking Twister 2, the movie. He's out of his fucking mind. So he came, he was drinking all day, and then finally I fucking tell him, I'm like, we got to go do the interview. He's all fucked up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hope nobody's in this fucking podcast studio. I text Kevin Conley. I'm like, Kevin, this is fucking out of control. Timmy is fucking zapped. He is so fucked up. But we got to just get this done. I don't care. It'll maybe be funny. So he's like, all right. I walk in. I'm like, please nobody be there. Please nobody be there. So boom, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. I'm like, fuck.
Tobey Maguire's there.
Yes, there.
Before Bounce Back arrives.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and he's like decided to sit in for this episode and just watch, and like
didn't know this.
Didn't know. Yes, didn't. Yeah. So we walk in, and Timmy's like, "Ah, Spider-Man, ah!" Like fucking Spider-Man. He's like, and then he's like, "Do you use your spidey senses to play poker?" Toby's like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And so we go in the room. Ryan shows up, and then there was, I guess, rumors that Timmy, I think, just made out of nowhere that Timmy fucked, or Ryan fucked Timmy's ex-girlfriend or something like that, which is not true.
Ryan Lochte banged his ex-girlfriend was what Timmy started with the accusations about.
Correct, and I don't think it was true. I mean, 99% of what comes out of my buddies, Timmy's got the best person in the world, but he likes to fluff stories a little bit.
Right, heart of gold, but I could definitely see it a little bit, but it's believable when you hear it, and then the build-up to when you find out Lochte's actually coming in. It's phenomenal. Did you guys... Whose decision was it to put Timmy in the back for the start of that interview?
Mine.
It was yours to get him out of there.
To get him out of there, yes.
And then at what point in the interview do you bring him in?
Well, we were talking a little bit with Ryan, and then, things were going, and then I'm like, fuck it. This is like, let's make hilarious content. Let's just see what happens. I'm like, yo, Timmy, let's go. Get in here. So Timmy comes fucking flopping around like one of those. You ever see those like car dealerships that have that air thing that blows in the wind? Yeah. That was fucking Timmy. And so he comes around and he sits down. And I think the first thing he said, he's like, well, this ought to be fun or something like that. And then, yeah.
Well, he sits down, and mind you, for the people listening, you got to listen to the episode. You know he's fucking wasted, but I think he's talking about wanting to bet on him, and he sits down and he goes, do you have a fucking shot at the Golden Bombers? And I think he's talking about winning gold, and Lochte doesn't know what the fuck just hit him.
Yeah, it was, and you should have seen the look on Ryan's face. He was like very, very mortified. But yeah, it was just a disaster of an interview that turned out to be gold. Because after the interview, I'm like, this is horrible. But as you know, sometimes you'll do podcasts and you'll be like, that was awful. But then you'll listen to it back. You're like, no, actually, that was really good.
Right. You have no idea what it was till you actually go back and listen to it.
Yeah, but my scariest call was when, Ryan's agent was like 17 missed calls, I think, in my pocket of so I was like, oh, fuck. So I picked up the phone. I was like, listen, we're going to edit this all together. Everything's going to be good. He's like, fuck Timmy's and a fucking embarrassment. I'm like, listen, I know that, but...
And yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
What's Toby say about the whole thing?
Toby left halfway through. It was so awkward.
because
Toby left.
Toby walks out.
Toby walked the fuck out in the middle of it. Like,
because he didn't want to see it?
I think he was just so, like, when you're just in a very uncomfortable situation, like, it's just like, he's
He's in his own office.
Spider-Man left the fucking building.
Spider-Man was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy Bounce Back made Spider-Man uncomfortable.
Timmy Bounce Back beat Spider-Man that day. He fucking defeated Spider-Man. Not a lot of people can fucking say that.
Leave it to Timmy Bounce Back.
Fucking unbelievable.
All right, Bob. So what I did, I put on my Instagram of a lot of what people, different questions they had for you. I knew the questions I had for you.
Beautiful.
I was not letting you leave here today without you clarifying what is the story, Dave Portnoy, president, CEO, whatever he is, of Barstool Sports, big powerhouse over there. Were you originally going to work for them? How did that all break out with Portnoy?
I think that David is, by the way, David is very, 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 very smart, fucking successful fucking dude. And hats off to that dude for what he just did with the Penn Gaming thing.
Right.
Like selling,
huge.
I mean, a fucking massive deal they did.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, look, I did videos for Barstool back in the day. Like I did, David, I think, found me on this, on YouTube. I think I uploaded a video, and I think he was like, you're kind of funny. And then, we ended up going to like Bridgewater State, and I brought this like camera crew of 4 guys or something, and they were just being idiots, I think. And then we wrote an article or something, and I got pissed because I was probably like young and immature, and then whatever. And then fast forward to kind of recently, I went in and sat with David, and I thought there was maybe potential for Barstool and myself to kind of work together.
Right.
And I sat down. He was a gentleman. We were very, cool. I was showing him, I was telling him my sister was obsessed with him, and fucking showing, I think I got him to take a picture or something with me for my sister or something, or not obsessed, but she was like a fan of David, and they made me an offer, and I kind of countered with a little bit more money because I, saw kind of where I was going, I think.
Right.
And the deal didn't work out. And then I think something was like tweeted or something. And then I responded, and then we had this thing where I requested like $1 million fight or something with them. It was all fun. I mean, look at the end of the day, I'm focused on, my shit,
Right.
And the thing is this, we share a lot of the same audience, me and David.
As do I with them, yeah.
So there's no need for any of that shit, like, I mean, he's fucking good,
I put my name in the hat to commentate that fight. But with that being said, you then end up doing your own thing. Mm-hmm. You bring out the Ripper Magoo podcast, immediate success. Now, I knew that it was going to be successful. I didn't know that it was going to hit the way it did that fast. With that being said, there was a time, I think, where it hit #1 on the charts. No?
Yeah, it was #1 when we were focused in, like, actually doing it. And again, that's half the reason why I'm slowing down the drinking a little bit. We've gotten a little bit off schedule. I mean, we're like, we're releasing once every Wednesday, and it's like every 3 weeks now we'll just like, all right, let's just do a podcast. And obviously you need consistency. So our numbers kind of dropped for a little bit, but I'll bring them back up. I got a great list of guys coming.
Now, so when you were on the way up with Part of My Take, which is Barstool's big podcast, were you looking at them saying, okay, I gotta top that out, or that was just, you were just so focused on hitting the top spot?
I'm just focused on hitting #1. I mean, that's all I want to do. I want to be #1. I don't give a fuck. I mean, look at Part of My Take does a fucking great job. Those 2 really, really talented dudes.
The cat's the man.
Yeah, they're good people, and they fucking kill it. But of course, like, there's a little thing between me and David had the little thing.
Totally.
So, and I'm not gonna lie and say,
you'd be lying if you said it didn't.
I'd be lying to say if I didn't feel fucking great to be on top
Yeah.
of Barstool's Part of My Take. But there's a lot of work to do. They've been doing it for a fucking long time. I'm still learning. I'm brand new in this shit, but I think I'm getting the hang of it a little better. And each interview is, well, actually getting a little worse by worse, actually. But I think it's hopefully going to get better. But yeah, it would feel nice. I want the #1 spot, obviously, in anything I do.
Okay, now I want to transition from that to my question. You and Dan Bilzerian sitting courtside at a Laker game.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dialogue like in that? What do you say? What do you say to the guy? I just told a really good Dan Bilzerian story on my last episode. I happen to really like him when I interacted with him. How did that go?
I think I had floor seats from Fred, my buddy, who gave me floor seats. And
The never sold out guy, or
never sold out. Yeah, never sold out guy.
It wasn't sold out that night.
It wasn't sold out that night. So I just texted Bilzerian. I was like, "Yo, you want to go to the game with us?" And he was like, "Yeah." We sit down. He shows up, typical Bilzerian style, I guess, with his fucking short shorts and his fucking whatever it is that he's wearing.
Cowboy hat, T-shirt,
Cowboy hat.
12-pack.
Exactly, yeah.
Whole 9 yards.
He's got a good fucking body. No H word.
No, yeah, say it.
But he, so he just sat down and we started talking. And dude, I expect this guy to be like a wild party animal, whatever.
Right.
That's why you can't judge a book by its cover. He's always with these smoking models, but he's just a really like humble, down to earth good dude.
Does he smell like sex?
He just smells like pussy. That's it.
Does
There's
he
just
really?
This pussy just going off his body, and you're just so jealous because he fucks so many beautiful girls probably.
Constantly.
So it's just yeah. But we had a good time. We actually got to I think saw him at the fight a couple weeks later, and yeah, he's a good dude.
Never with the bros though. It's just always you would think he wants a little bit of bro time.
Would you ever be with the fucking bros if you had 25 of those fucking girls running around?
You know, Bob, I would. It would be few and far between that I was with the bros.
You pick a select few.
Yeah.
Who would be your top 3 guys to bring to a party if you had 25 models?
Charles Barkley, the guy who killed Osama bin Laden.
See, now that I could probably make happen. If you involve 25 models, we might be able to get those guys there.
I'm gunning for it.
Do it.
Now, last question I had for the Ask Bob segment here. It's the Ask Bob segment, so we kept it as the Ask Bob segment. That made it easy for us. Mark Scherzer out of Austin, Texas said, what's the biggest advantage of having 2.2 million? Is it 2.3?
2.2, and it's hanging on there. It's not growing. I'm not doing any content. I'm getting lazy, so I'll be back.
Okay.
Wait, why? These 60 days of sobriety is gonna be nuts. The booth is fucking back open.
Good. Get the booth back up and running. What is the biggest advantage of having 2.2 million followers on Instagram besides the fact sitting courtside next to Dan Bilzerian, which is pretty cool?
I don't know. I look at it just from, I have the power to kind of influence. I mean, it's just a horrible word because if my fucking page influences people, it's obviously in probably a negative way. I'm like gambling, drinking, partying.
I'll stop you there. We went for brunch, bottomless mimosas at Saddle Ranch or something.
Oh God.
I couldn't get a bite of my potatoes in. It was every second somebody was coming by for a picture.
With me?
Yeah.
You must have just caught me on a good day. They don't fucking know who I am.
Does that ever get to you, the whole picture deal?
No, it doesn't. I memean, first and foremost, I'm not like an athlete. So it's like when it does happen, the rare moments when somebody comes up and asks me for a picture, and I don't know why the fuck they do. Right. But, you got to understand, it's like always, for somebody like me, you're always taking it. Because I look at it as like, when I started this, I would DM every fucking person in the world and ask somebody to like share it, tell your friend. Right. I look at it as this. I get a photo with some random person that comes up to me, right? I don't care if I'm at dinner or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I take the picture with them. What I look at is like this. 1 turns into 2. 2 turns into 4. 4 turns into 8. 8 turns into 16.
Totally.
Because you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy on your Instagram that you just posted a picture with? So, they click on Bob Menery and they find out hopefully who I am.
And not only that, the person that you take the picture with now is even more loyal than they already were to you. Next thing you know, they're wearing a Ripper Magoo hat.
I have a set line. By
the way, you want a plug?
Whatever you want.
How do you get a Ripper Magoo hat?
Oh, you get a Ripper BobMenery.com.
www.bobmenery.com. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada fucking boom, baby.
Beautiful. Well, Bob, happy to have you in.
I've
been wanting to get you in for a while. Here we are.
We did.
Appreciate you. I love you for it. Charles Barkley.
Yep.
And the guy who killed Osama bin Laden. Thanks for coming on. You're the fucking best.
I love you. I fucking love you. Now let's go. And I was going to say drink, but no, we're not doing that.
The Ripper Magoo podcast. If you want to slam the under on Bob Menery, 60 days sober,
61st day is going to be insane. 61st day is going to be nuts. Party at Michael Rubin's on his rooftop in New York City. Even with that being said, I highly recommend the under. I love you to death. Thank you, folks. Yes, sir.